Hi guys, and welcome back to ARCS, a game by Cole Werle, published by Leather Games. A game about the conflict in the Reach, where you are a spacefaring society moving through the Reach, trying to colonize, survive its harsh and dangerous conditions. We already created one video about this great game. This was kind of an unboxing and overview, so you can really look into this video, the link below, what's the game about, what components we have, and so on. Today, the idea is to create a teach and play video. The teach and play video will explain to you the rules, the map, the components, the gameplay, the victory conditions, so on and so forth, also the actions, and show a couple of them really hands-on. I will be using 3-player setup. The game is essentially from 2 to 4 players, so we will have a yellow, a blue, and red guy. And I would like to make one important note at the beginning of the game. This game does not have a solo mode. This is not a solitary game, and this game is not solo friendly. Still, for the sake of presenting the game, presenting how the let's say the gameplay flows, we will do this presentation, and I will try to guide you through this because I don't want only to show you the dry theoretical rules. I want to show to you how does it play in the real life, in the real game. So guys, ARCS is a game which is unforgivable. You will be attacked from each side by each players, where it will be battles, where it will be seizure of your agents and capture of them. You will have ambitions and you would like to fulfill them. You will be fighting for initiative. You will be taking it, seizing it, or maybe you will be losing it. There are so many aspects to this game, and I'm appreciating this with every further play. Today we'll look at the base game. We'll not look at the lore and leaders. We'll also not look at the campaign, which even further expand this game. Okay, so without further ado, let us start. We'll start with the map of the game. So you can see this beautiful map here of the game and what we have on this map. Let me guide you through this, and then as a next step, we will be doing the discussion of components and the setup. So in the center we have the name ARCS, which is out of play area. It's important to note that this is not any part of a game. The map is divided into the 6 clusters. You can see them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 6 clusters, and each of the clusters has 3 systems. For example, cluster 2 has a gate, which actually connects also with other gates, with gate 1 and with gate 3, and has 3 planets, 1, 2, 3. So this is one cluster. Cluster 4 is, for example, here. Now, there are 2 types of borders on the map, thick and thin. The thick borders you cannot cross, so these are those. The gates are always adjacent, but for example, those 2 planets are not adjacent. And there are thin, let's say, borders like this, which allows you to move from here to here or vice versa. That's important to note. So this is the reach, and during the game of ARCS, you will always have some sectors closed. Depending whether it's 3, 4, 2 players, it will be 1 or 2 sectors which are closed, and we'll have a special components which will be doing it. By the way, each number of players has 4 different setups. So 2 player has 4 setups, 3 player has 3 setups, and 4 players has 4 setups. It really expands the longevity of the game. What else do we have on the map? Here we have a power track. We have our ambitions, and when we fulfill the ambition, our power is raising. essentially this is the victory points track. In 4-player game, whoever first reaches 27 at the end of the chapter wins the game. In 3-player, you need to reach 30 points. In 2-player, you need to reach 33 points. Here we'll have the chapters, and let me mark them already. Here are the chapters. Yep. There's maximum 5 chapters. Usually the game ends between 3 to 5. Then it's the moment when one of the players reaches this needed amount of victory points. What else do we have on the map? We have the ambitions about which I was telling you. The ambitions will be getting the points for the ambitions. Let me put the victory points markers for ambitions. You can see them here. Each ambition, let's say, tile has a victory points for the first place and for the second place. In case of a tie, if two players are tied for the first place, they will receive the second place victory points. If there are players tied for the second place, they will get 0, nothing. These are the 5 types of ambitions we have. The tycoon, who invests into the materials and fuel. The tyrant, who is capturing agents of other players. We have a warlord, who destroys in the battle pieces of other players. We have keepers, who are gathering special relic resources. And we have empaths, who are gathering special psionic resources. There will be a way to declare those ambitions, and then at the end of a chapter, whoever fulfills this most will gain the victory points. Interestingly, after the first chapter, we will be also looking here at those points, and the lowest one will be flipped, and on the other side there will be more points. So the game will start to accelerate, because in each chapter it will be possible to get more victory points, and it really speeds up. What else do we have on the map? This is a very important section, because here we will be playing the action cards, and we'll talk about action cards in a moment. They actually drive the game. They have the numbers from 1 to 7. In the 3 and 2-player game, we only use the numbers from 2 to 6, so we'll use them in a moment. Here we have a place for the lead card. Whoever has the initiative will be playing the card first, and we have a very nice initiative maple. Let me put them with the red. I like the red color. This is our random first player who will have the initiative, and then this initiative could be seized from them by other players in some special ways. So here is the lead card. Then, after the player with initiative plays the lead card, the other players will be playing their cards, either matching the suit which was played here, or maybe not matching the suit and playing it in a different way. The last piece here is the place for the discard pile. The discard pile is hidden. This is not public information what's in the discard pile, because some of the cards can be played face down, and maybe the player does not want to disclose what was below this card. Here we have space for the ambition declared marker. Wherever you declare the ambition, 100% guaranteed, or almost 100% guaranteed, you will lose the initiative. So, because the value of your card will drop to 0. And that's the most important part about the map. I would like to draw your attention also to one more thing. You can see that each of the planets is producing some different resource, whether it's fuel, it's material, it's relic, it's weapons, or psionic. Psionic here. So this is also important to note. That will be all about the map. Let me move to the next point. Let's talk now about the components. What kind of components we have? The chapter marker and the initiative marker you already know. Then we have the cards. And we will not be using the 1 and 7 cards, so let me just simply remove them from my file. Okay. In the 3 and 2 player game, simply you don't use 1s and 7s. They are not needed. So we have cards which are in 4 colorful suits. 1, 2, 3 I have, and I need the red ones. Red ones, where are the red ones? Yes, here it is. So these are the action cards, and they drive the actual play. What do we have on the card? There is a couple of characteristics. There is the card value. This is from 2 to 6 in 2-3 player game, 1 to 7 in 4 player game. We have pips, which shows us the number of actions we can do. And we should not mix both things, the card value and the number of actions the card allows. Usually, the higher the value of the card, the lower number of actions you can take. Let me take some 6 maybe out of here. Yeah. So let me put it like this, so you can see, and maybe some to, this would be nice example. You can see here clearly that the higher the number and value of the card, the lower the number of actions. If you play 4 player, it will be even more extreme because the card 7 will have only 1 action. Value of the card, number of action it allows, color, which shows you the suit of the card, and the suit goes with the name of the card. So aggression for red, administration for gray, mobilization for blue, and construction for orange, let's say. Under each and every of those cards, you have some specific actions you will be able to take. In aggression, it will be battle, move, or secure. Administration will have tax, repair, or influence. Mobilization will have move or influence. Construction will have build or repair. You can see that some of the actions are repeating between the cards, like move we have here and move we have here. The repair we have on construction and repair we have on administration. This is on purpose. And as I said, this is the number of actions you will be able to take from each and every of those cards, and those could be different actions. So with this card you can move and then battle. What else do we have on the card? We have also the ambition markers. So these cards allow also to declare ambition, but it has to match the symbol here. And on the map you have also this very nicely shown that Tycoon ambition can be declared only with card number 2. The Tyrant ambition can be declared only with the card number 3. The Warlord only with the card number 4. In 4-player play, you have also the cards which are 7, and the 7s allow to declare any ambition, but yeah, we will not be showing this here. So these are the cards. These are important components. I will talk in a moment how we use them and what are the actions, but remember about them. Now, going further with components, let us talk about the court cards. So there's cards which we'll put next to the playboard, and you will be able to secure them. There are tons of them. I will not be going through them, but enough to say that there are 2 types of them. The guilds give you some persistent ability, skill, maybe sometimes additional action. And you have Vox, which are the immediate effect, and you resolve them immediately after securing. We'll have them here or here, 4 of them lying, so the players will be able to send agents there and secure. What is important also on the card, except for the type of the card, the name, the explanation, are those 2 things. This shows one of the 5 resources symbols, and those resources then during the ambition check phase will be also counted from the cards. Here is the cost to steal it. The cost is usually from 1 to 3 keys, and during the battle the opponent will be able to set to use this and steal from you. 3 is pretty high number. So let me put those cards here. Now, when we talk about resources, resources are not pure resources. These are also the people who know how to use them, and we have 5 types of resources, as I told you, and there are only 5 counters of each resource. So this is not a game in which we, I don't know, collect tens of resources and then spend it. No, you need to really use them. The material, the fuel, the weapon, the psionic, and the relic. So these are components of the resources. Let me put them here, or maybe where we'll have a lot of space. Usually next to the map is good, and I believe the camera allows you to see it. What else from the components we have before we jump to the player components? We have die for the resolution of the battles, and this is one of the most, I would say, outstanding mechanics in the ARCS. How you resolve battles, we'll be talking about this. You have 3 die from which you can choose. This is a skirmish die. You destroy the enemy slowly, but there is no risk in this. This is assault die. You can die with this die or take a really high casualties, but you can inflict even more on your opponent. And there is a raid die, which allows you to steal some resources or cards from your opponent. Beautiful die, and the number of ships you will be using in the battle will be determining what's the maximum number of dice you can use in the battle. So let me put them. And let me see if we have anything more in the fantastic rule book. By the way, I haven't shown it to you, but ARCS has a really good rule book which nicely guides you through all the main game concepts. It's not long, 20 pages with nice index to show you all the details. Very straightforward. We will have also the markers which will be closing some of the sectors because as I told you, if we play with in a 4-player game we always close one, in 3 players and 2 players we even close a little more. I will use it in a moment. We have 8 sheets, but this we don't need to show. So I believe the time is to show you also what the players have. The players have first of all and foremost the player board. The player board which shows you the spaces for the resources. Here are the cities, and when you build the cities, you unlock the spaces for resources. Those keys show you how hard it is to steal particular resource. And this is the number of a key on the raid die that the opponent has to roll in order to steal the resource. Here you have explanation of how to use the resources in so-called prelude phase, so before you execute actions. Here you will be collecting trophies from destroying other players' pieces, and captives from securing or taxing others. Yeah, we will explain it later. So these are the cities, and during the setup we will be putting them on the map. And except for this, each player has also 5 starports, has around, let me see, 10 agents, this is the agent, and have 15 ships. And now each and every piece, let me do the demonstration here, can be fresh or damaged. This is the fresh city, fresh starport, and fresh ship. This would be damaged ship, damaged starport, and damaged city. So this is very important concept in the game. It influences the battle, it influences the control. Yeah, so really important to note it. Okay, as for the components, these would be the main ones. Yeah, power markers which are at the 0, so this is pretty obvious. As I told you, there are also leaders and lore. We're not showing this today. This really spices up the game because then each and every leader has slightly different skills, setup. Lore also enhances the rules a bit, but Don't start with this immediately. I played many times without it, and then jump into this. It really spices up the game, but it's good to learn it first with the vanilla rules. Really, this is important. Okay, so this will be everything about the components. Let's jump to the next section. We'll talk now about the setup. I like how the setup in ARCS is done. We have all the cards needed. So these are the cards which allows you to do the setup for 3 players, 2 players and 4 players. The graphics are cool. What do we have on such a card? It shows us first of all which sectors are out of play. So we'll be closing, for example, I believe this sector 1 and sector 4. It shows also where each player is set up. So you see A, B and C. A, quick reference to the rule book. So A means 3 ships and a city. B means 3 ships and a starport. C means 2 ships. So this will be where the player 1 will be here, 1A, 1B, 1C. And that also takes into the consideration the resources, the how far we are from each other. So this is pretty balanced, yeah. On top, as a bonus, you will get also the resources from the 2 areas where you have city and starport. With lords and leaders, you will actually have it slightly differently done. So this is, yeah, with one huge, and 2 of this. So let me shuffle it. Let me shuffle it and let us draw one of them. Okay, so we will be closing a big chunk and we'll be doing the setup. So once again, this is player 1, player 2, player 3. I have not made it easy for me, but okay. We go clockwise, so that way, 1, 2, 3. And now, first of all, we need to make sure some sectors are out of play. So this will be the sector number 3 and the sector number 2. So we put here. What does it represent? Actually, it represents that the 4 is adjacent to 1. I'm not sure if to use large ones or maybe small ones, depending how we would like to do. I believe we can do it also that way. So this is adjacent. 1 is adjacent to 4. Now we need to close also those planets, which will be out of play. So let me close them up. Those planets will not be playing. And the only area which will be in play will be here. Yeah, those 1, 6, 5 and 4. These sectors. Okay, now we need to set up, as I told you, the starports and the ships and all other stuff. Let me start with the player 1. Let me take its city. So player 1, 1A is here. So it is here. Here they have a city and they have 3 ships. This is how do we do the setup. Then 1B is here. So this is the starport and they have also 3 ships. And the C will be always somewhere in the gate. That's how the setup of 1B and 1C is here. So this is exactly how do we set up each and every player. This is player 1. Let me very quickly do the player 2. So for player 2, 2A, we have them here. And they will have this. Of course, we need still to give the resources. I have not forgotten about it. Let me do it as a last step, simply. Okay, I need one more city here. So 2A, 2B is here. Okay, they will be adjacent. That sounds like a recipe for some battles, for some misunderstanding maybe, which has to be resolved. And of course we have 2 more ships which are in 2C, so they are here. One thing which I learned in this game, that it's not very easy to rebuild ships once you lost them. It's very important to preserve them and to repair them. Each and every building in this game will be able to build only once per turn, so it really limits your possibilities. 3A is here. You can see it here, so they will get the fuel at the game beginning. Nicely done. They also get one starport, which is in 3B, so this is here. And last but not least, they would have two ships in some gate, so 3C is here, this large gate. And we can remove this card. So this is how the setup looks like. Beautiful. Don't be fooled, guys, by the way, by how beautiful this looks like. What colors do we have? This is a really mean game, and I mean it, that it is mean. So yes, we done the setup. Now we need to give also the resources from the setup. The red one gets the material. And what is the second one? Okay, they got two materials. That's interesting. They will be able to build a lot thanks to those materials. So we put them here from this side. Then during the play, when you will be receiving the material, but receiving the resource, but not spending, receiving, you will be able to reshuffle them. Now the yellow gets the fuel and psionic. So you can already see that they might want to invest into the psionic, into the empath ambition, because I don't think anybody else will have it. The blue has material and fuel. Yeah, so they have already very precious resource, which is psionic. And now really the setup is full. We done everything for this. Okay guys, moving forward to explain how do we play the chapter. This is very important, and for this I would like to mention the player aid. Really well prepared. It tells you how do we play the chapter in general, what are all the actions, and how do we conclude the chapter. So what are we going to do now is talk about how to play a chapter. Chapter, here the players will be playing the rounds. Every player will get 6 cards, and they will be playing consecutively 1, 2, 3. During the play of the cards, they will be also changing who has the initiative, and then in the next round another person will be playing as a first. Once everybody has 0 cards in their hands, or they passed consecutively even when having the cards in their hand, we will finish the chapter and will score the points. So first, the player with the initiative marker takes a turn. What they do, they play lead card, so they play card here. Let us do the example. Let us assume that the red is the lead player and they play this card, they put it here. What does it mean? Well, this means that the let's say leading suit of the cards will be playing this turn is administration. This means that they can take 3 actions because there are 3 pipes here. And they can also, as a leading player, can declare ambition. And only person with initiative can declare one of those ambitions. In this case, what they can declare? They can only declare the tyrant. Let's assume that they have some already trophies, so it's worthwhile for them. They take the highest value, victory points value, put it here. And because they are declaring the ambition, they will put 0 here at the value of the card. Still, they can make those 3 actions. So this is the lead player. The lead player simply chooses the lead card and can declare ambition. Okay, what other players, so the second player yellow and the third player blue can do? They can do 3 things. They can surpass. So they can play the card of a similar suit, which is a higher value. If you declare ambition, that's very easy because every card 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will be higher. But if those guys did not declare ambition, they will be only able to play 4, 5, 6. 2 they cannot. So this is the first thing. Play an action card matching the lead's card suit but with a higher number than it. Second thing, let's assume that we don't have such card. We can do the pivot. Pivot allows you to play any card with any suit, with any value, which does not match actually this suit, and perform one action of this. For example, we have aggression here. We can play a pivot here. That only means that we will have one aggression action. This does not match this suit, okay? PT, we did not have a card which is higher value and matching this suit, but still we can play this one action. Last but not least, we can do the copy, and we play any action card face down, which allows us to play one action from the lead card. And we don't show it. This is the hidden. So let's assume that the second player played this, and this was one aggression, and the third player said, "No, I don't have any card I would like to play. I really would like to play administration, but I don't have this card or don't have a high enough card. So let me copy this card." This is the key concept of a game, guys, and we'll be coming back to this very, very often. So really, what you need to grasp here is how this kind of a trick tracking mechanism works. The lead player plays the card with a suit and performs the actions, might also add the ambition, so declare it, put it there. Then each other player can either surpass, play an action card matching the lead's card suit but with a higher number. In this case, if there is no ambition, it should be 4, 5, 6. If there is ambition, it can be any card matching the suit with a higher value. They can pivot, so play any card they want and get one action from this. They play it face up, or they can copy, place the card face down and do one action which normally administration allows for. There is a possibility to seize initiative during the turn. In the 4-player game, it will be by playing 7, but we don't have it. In the 2 and 3-player game, it's possible by simply playing additional card. Let's assume that those guys want to seize the initiative, so they need to add additional card below this, and then they will get it to them. Once the initiative is seized, nobody else can seize it this turn. Important note, which we forget in our first play, is that if you have initiative here with a red player, he cannot seize it for himself for further use. If nobody seized the initiative during the play, during the particular round, we will be checking what happens to initiative. If somebody sees the initiative, they keep it. If nobody sees the initiative, we'll give the initiative to the guy who surpassed with the highest card. So for example, if somebody had 6, put it here, they would get the initiative. If nobody surpassed the current player with initiative, he will stay with this. It's also possible. And that way the game will flow. Now, what I said to you guys about playing the lead card, surpassing, pivoting, copying, seizing the initiative, and then checking who will have it, it's a key and essence of the game, and all the tactics, all the beauty, all the thinking comes from this. This is very elegant and really the heart of the game. So we will see this in action, and once you see this in action, it will be really, really fun to check it. So this is how we play the chapter. This is 6 rounds, usually the 6 rounds because the players have 6 cards, so the lead player plays the cards, the rest reacts, we check who has initiative, we repeat until nobody has cards or everybody passes consecutively. And then we will be ending the chapter, because the actions I will rather describe more during the actual. So now, very briefly, let us talk about how do we finish a chapter. And for this, we again will use very helpful player aid. So when the chapter ends, that's important, if no one has cards left in their hand, so this is the first way it can finish, or if everyone with the cards passes the initiative, so they consecutively passes. We'll have 4 points when we finish the chapter. First of all, we'll score the ambitions. And we score only those ambitions which have victory points added to them. So, for example, in such a case, we would score only Tycoon and Keeper, and yes, a Tyrant and Keeper. And yes, you can have more than one victory points marker on particular ambition. It doesn't have to be different ones. So you score them and give the points. As I told you, the first player gets the total point, the maximum points. If there's a tie, they get the points for the second place. If there is a tie for the second place, they get 0. There's a possibility to get additional victory points from the bonus city power. Here we would have, if you build the 4th and 5th city, you have +2 to 1 ambitions and then additional 3. So if you have all 5 cities built, you will have 5 additional victory points, but only if you win without any ties. And you need to qualify to get points. So for example, if you have Tyrant and everybody has 0 trophies, nobody will get points because you need to have at least some qualifying points. Then we do the cleanup and we will be flipping the ambition. So we will remove all the ambition victory points up. We'll flip the lowest one. So in this case, if we would be finishing the chapter number 1, we would move it here and we would flip the lowest. Oh, it becomes now 4. After the second chapter, we would flip 3, which becomes 6. And after the third chapter, we would flip this, which becomes 9. So as you can see, after the third chapter, you can score 16 points for the first places, and in the first chapter it's only 10. So it really speed ups, push the game forward, definitely. Also during the cleanup, if the warlord was scored, all the trophies from here will be removed. If the tyrant was scored, all the captives will be moved from here. Then end the game or advanced chapter, we check the victory points. This is the moment, this is the point when we will be checking if the game ends. If the game is not ending, we move the chapter marker forward, and then we will draw 6 cards. For the 2 players game there are some special rules, but in essence we will draw those cards. Sounds simple? It is. In essence, the rules are not overly complex. It's their application which makes the game very, very deep. So just to remind, we start the chapter, we have around 6 rounds, not always 6 rounds because you can play more than 1 card per turn. The lead player with initiative plays the card, then we play to this card, or we pivot, or we surpass, or we copy. We execute the actions, then we check who gets the initiative, then another round goes, at the moment when everybody has 0 cards or passed with the cards in hand, we'll be finishing the chapter, and during the end of the chapter we'll check the ambitions, score the points, see if we end the game. Simple. Now, let's talk briefly about the actions and what we can do. The actions, as I told you, are very nicely linked to the cards. Administration has tax, repair, influence. Construction, build or repair. Aggression, move, battle or secure. Mobilization, move or influence. Let me just put it that way. It's very interesting that you have all the actions here, and one action, which is battle, is here, the longest one. So I believe explaining this theoretically will be too much. Okay, let's start. Build. Build allows you to place a ship at your loyal starport, so at your starport, and it can be done only once per turn. Or the build will allow you to place a city or starport in empty slot on the map, which is where are your loyal pieces. For example, the blue can build the starport or the city here. The blue can build here one ship, for example, with a build action. Very easy and very intuitive. What is important, you cannot build here because nobody is here. There are no pieces from neither side, so you cannot simply build there. Second action, very simple, repair. What repair does, it allows you to flip the damaged, stuff anywhere on the map without any prerequisites. One repair simply flips it here, another repair, for example, flips it here. So the city and the ship. So there is no precondition. Then another thing is tax. Tax allows you to get the resources. If we tax this planet as a blue, we'll get fuel. We still have space, so we can get one more fuel. There's a very interesting and tricky thing that if you, for example, let's say they moved here and we are here, we can tax the opponent's city if we control the sector. In order to control the sector, you need to have more fresh, that is non-damaged ships than any other player. It's fulfilled here. So the blue player can tax this space. Of course, this is the starport, so I don't believe they can tax the starport. They would need to go somewhere where the cities. Oh, I have a better example, guys, with the taxing of the opponent city. Here, in this case, let's assume those three ships moved here, and we have blue ships here. So we can tax this. We can get one psionic, and because we are taxing the yellow player, we also get one captive, which we put here for the tyrant ambition. So this is really cool and important. Not only the resource, but also the captive. Build, repair, tax described. Now influence. For influence, we need to have cards. So we'll have 4 cards. Let me put them for time being here. Actually, we can use this space here because it will not be in play anyhow. So we can put and mark it like that. So we would have 4 cards. And in order to influence, for example, as a blue, I have 2 influence actions. I can put 2 agents on the cards, one here and one here, for example. Let's say that then the red has 2 influence actions. He can put 2 agents, for example, here. That's how the influence action works. Now, we have influence, so we have also secure. And the secure action allows you to take a card where you have the most agents from the card row. But you take rival agents as captives. So, for example, it's red's turn now. They want to secure. They can secure this card, so they return those to their supply. This guy goes to captives. And this card goes to them, and they can play it later on. That's how it works. Then we need to draw the 4th card. Here it's Vox, so this would be the immediate card. As you can see, most of the rules are pretty straightforward. I will really do this card, draw pile here. I like the idea. Okay. And maybe we'll have some Vox, yes. Okay, sounds like a good solution. There is a space here, so why not to use it? Okay, and so this was secure. Now, 2 more actions before we jump to example of play. Move. Move allows any number of your ships to move from one system to adjacent. So from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. We cannot move between from here to here, of course. Plus there is one additional important rule. which tells you about the so-called catapult move. When you move ships from the loyal starport and only from loyal starport, so those three spaces, you can use catapult move. How does it work? You keep moving the ships as much as you want. You can drop them off as you wish until they move into any planet or a gate that is controlled by anyone else. Okay, theory. Let's show the example. Which color you would like to choose? Let me say that we'll play with the red ones. The red ones are here, yeah? This is their starport, where they can move. They can move here and here because those two things are just straightforward and easy. But they can also use the catapult move. They can move with the catapult move one here and then two here. Here they need to stop because, as you can see, here are already ships of the blue and it's controlled. So they can move like here. They can also move one and two here because this is a catapult move and this is uncontrolled. They can also move one here and they will stop also there. That is so important to have some ships in the gate because it stops the movement. Yeah? So planet will stop you and the control will stop you. Yeah? Any planet or a gate that is controlled by anyone else. That's how the move works. And now for the battle, guys, I believe example of play will be first. In the battle will be rolling various die, applying hits, going through all this procedure instead of doing this theoretically. I much more prefer to do it in simple example of play way. So we will cover this during the example of play. Are those all rules? No, there are still some smaller rules which we need to touch upon and which are important. Just to mention that we have something like prelude phase. If you have, yeah, this is nicely described here. The prelude phase allows you to use the cards with the prelude actions and the resources to do the action. You play the card, you then could do the prelude action or during the prelude use the resource. This is very very important. You can also create the outrage, I would say. Yeah, this is probably the best way to say create the outrage. If during the battle you fight and then you destroy the city, and the city has of course the suit, for example relics, that means that the people who are responsible for relics hate you now. You need to discard all the resources, all the guild cards, and you need to put your agent on the relic symbol next to here because you are not able anymore to use the relic for actions. People responsible for producing relic hate you. Does it mean that you cannot gather them? No, you can. You can still gather them, and that's of course really, really nice. Okay, I believe that will be all for the details of how to play the ARCS and example of play. That's enough for today. I hope that this theoretical explanation gave you the good understanding of this. Let's play now a bit of the game. Let's do a couple of moves. Let's show how the battle works and other actions. So stay tuned. We'll be back with you in a moment. Okay guys, so let us now present to you the example of play. We don't have the real players, so it will be a bit, scripted. I created 3 6-card draw piles for the players, and I actually choose the cards a bit so you can see some interesting game mechanics. I will try to play one full chapter quickly so you can see the gameplay, and also we will test the battle mechanics because this is the one which we didn't do yet. So at the beginning of a chapter, we have 6 cards. We start with a red one. It's his draw pile. He plays administrative card. 4. It has 3 pipes. It can do tax, repair, or influence. They would like to tax. The only space they can tax is here, so they tax here. I already put it here. This is the first action they will take. They taxed this planet. Then they have influence, and I believe they would like to influence, let's say, 2 cards. One of them will be this one, and the other will be this one. This is a nice card. Populist demands: when secured, you may declare any ambition you would like to. Okay, do they want to declare ambition? No, not yet. They don't want to be a warlord. Now we move to the yellow player, and the yellow player has construction. That means it will be pivot. They cannot match the suit, so they play another color, and they can use one of those actions here. It will be build. What they will build the 4th ship, which I already put before the game when testing the first round. Yeah, so it is already here. Sorry, both this and this was from the test. Now the 3rd player, we go like this. So the blue one plays. Wow, he plays administration 5, which actually surpasses administration 4, and they will get the initiative if nothing happens till the end of the turn, and nothing will happen till the end of the turn, believe me. He has tax, repair, or influence. He would like to influence, and he has a plan. He will influence here. Now, he will 2nd and 3rd point. So this is 2 points for influence, and he will tax. So the blue, where they can tax, they will tax here. They will have additional fuel for some kind of combat. That ends the round. We check who has initiative. Those guys, the blue, have the initiative because they surpassed with the highest value of the card. It goes to the discard. Now, they can now declare the ambition. We think about it because the turn sequence, and this is something I would like to draw your attention to, because this was clarified also in the errata document, is you always start with playing the action card. If you are leading, you may also declare an ambition. If you are not leading, you may seize the initiative, yeah, with a 7 or with a double card. Then the prelude windows begin, where you can use prelude actions and of the cards and resources. And then the prelude window ends, and you return spent resources to the supply. So you cannot spend and recover the resources from the prelude. And then your action starts. So he first plays the card, and this card is aggression. Allows for battle, move, or secure. He would like to secure, and he will secure this card. Why? Because this is what he is doing now. Does he want to declare ambition? No, because he will use this to declare ambition. But does he want to use some of his stuff? Yeah, so he plays the card. In the prelude, he uses 1 fuel to do the move. Where will they move? The blue ones will move here, just 1 ship. Would he do anything else in the prelude? No, he don't want. Now he uses the prelude window finishes, the possibility to declare ambition finishes. He plays secure. One of the actions will be secure, so he secures this. Thanks to having more agents than opponent, he is getting 1 captive, and this card allows him to declare 1 ambition, and he declares what? Of course, he declares tyrant. So the ones which got points for the captives, and this card is removed from play. He still has a 2nd action, and as a 2nd action he can move, secure, or battle. Yeah, we always, sorry, we draw additional card here. And does he want to move again? Yeah, he will move here. Maybe he will be building in those 2 sectors. Now, this was the blue. Now we go to the red. Red surpasses him with the aggression card 6. They may move and they battle. and they can battle, and I believe they would like to try to do it because they will move from here to here and will count for some easy pickings here. Now, what do we have here? We have two ships red, and he decides which die to use. He cannot use the red die because there is no city or there is no building here. He can only use those two dice. And maybe we can go through the whole sequence of battle. So choose a battle system. This is the battle system. Yes, then choose defender. The blue will be defender. Collect dice. He can collect dice as he wants, but only the blue and red. And assault, as you can see, here is the split of assault die types, and here is all the blue. What those symbols means? This is the hit on the defender. This is hit on the attacker. This circle is the interception. So all fresh defender ships will fire first. And here we have a keys which allows you to steal some stuff, and we have also the hits directly on buildings. The resolution of all the symbols in this sequence. So first you hit your ships, then you intercept your ships, then you hit ships of the opponent. If there are no more ships, you hit the buildings. Here you hit the buildings, and then you can steal the resources. Important to note, and which speed up the game, is the fact that everything is resolved by the attacker. Everything. Okay, so the attacker decides, I want one red and one blue. Let's see what happens. Okay, so he rolled those two results. We go through the sequence. Do we have hit your ships? No. Do we have intercept? Yes. So there is one opponent ship. It hits first, intercept, so we damage one of the ships. Then we inflict hits on the opponent. One hit to damage and one to destroy. We are getting the first trophy out of this as a red player, so it goes to trophies, yeah. Good, nice. So it was a movement and there was a battle. What the third guy will do, he says, I want desperately initiative, guys. So what I'm going to do is going to play, first of all, this card as a pivot. So we'll have mobility, move, or influence, and we'll play second card below it. So we seize the initiative. It cannot be taken from us anymore this turn. We lay it down. And this also means that we have move or influence. I believe we would like to influence. We have already psionic here. Maybe we would like to get another psionic in order to be able, to get the empath ambition. We can only take one action because this is the pivot. So it ends now. Okay, so we stand it up, of course. And surprise, surprise, what do we have here? We have this here, the construction. The construction means that this is number 6 and we can declare this ambition. But before we declare these ambitions, do we want to do something with the yellows before this in the prelude? No, we don't want. We simply declare the ambition. The ambition will be empath. We put 0 here, of course, and now we have two actions. We can build or repair. We will build another city here. That's because then we can get much more in case of taxing of a psionic power. And we can build in one more space. We can build here, and it will be another ship, which we will use, of course, for peaceful resolution of the conflict. We go to the next player, whom is here, so the red one. What the red one will play? The red one will play this one, and they will actually would like to copy, so play that way. We look at this, okay, build or repaired. I want to repair this ship which was damaged here, yeah. And now the blue will play. Unfortunately, they don't have a construction card, so they need to play this card. it will be mobilization, and they have move or influence. They will do the influence. They would like to further or actually to start fighting for the cards. When we look at the initiative at the end of a turn, we can see that nobody sees it, so it stays with the yellow ones. It's not a normal way to do, but you know, guys, we are playing just a simple version of a game when we have some pre-prepared card and quickly move forward. So the yellow starts, and the yellow plays now aggression. Yeah, they want to find, because they built so many of those ships in order to show to you how the game flows. So they will not declare ambition. They don't want fuel and materials, although they are pretty good with this at that point in time. What they will do, they will move 4 ships here, and they will battle. And they have one more action to use. Okay, they will move also here. They will be producing later on. So move 1, move 2, battle. Now we have a city here, and we would like to get some resources. So what we will do, and we fight against the red one. So actually you know what, guys? We'll declare this ambition. It's still before rolling the die. So if the table agrees, it's okay. So we put this ambition here as a tycoon. We attack the red one, and what we would like to do is get those resources from the red one, so we can get this ambition fulfilled, or at least being the second after the blue one. How would you like to roll? We will take those 2. We will take 3 yellow, 3 orange, and 1 red. Let's do it that way. That could be a dramatic turn of events. It's a dramatic turn of events. It's not the best roll. So first thing which we resolve is hit your ships. We have 1, 2, 3 hit on the yellow ships. We don't need to destroy them. We can simply damage them. Okay, we damage them. Then we have intercept. There is 1 fresh opponent ship, so 1 hit is inflicted. Let's put it here. Okay, now we hit ships first. 1 hit is here, so this is damaged. And then we have 1, 2 hits against the building, so this city is destroyed by the yellow ones, so they get the trophy, but that causes the outrage. They will lose all the materials. They don't have materials. All the cards with materials, they don't have cards. They will not be able to use materials anymore, so we put it here. But there is a small compensation for this, because we ransack now the card, and we can take 1 card of the opponent, where the opponent agents are, and we were attacking the red one, so we can take this. And look what happens. He is getting 2 trophies, and he's getting the empath. Actually, sorry, this was the yellow one, of course, attacking. So he is getting additional points, possible points for the empath ambition, and also trophies for the tyrant. Perfect play by the yellow one, I would say, really perfect. Let me put it here. But they now are the easy picking, because these are damaged ships. So let me see, we go now to the red ones. Yeah, not many cards anymore. The red ones, they will strike back. They will strike back, and they will do it very heavily. By the way, I'm just looking. Tyrant has captives, and those guys are not captives because they were destroyed during the battle. So, okay, this does not help against Tyrant, but Warlord. So what the red would like to do? Strike back? I believe striking back is a good idea. They will move here and fire against those. What they will use? They will use 3 die, 3 red. 3 red. Let me do the 3 red. They want revenge. And they have it, although it's a bit tricky. First of all, they hit their ships 1, 2, 3. So they flip 2 and they destroy 1, which goes as trophy to the yellows, and then inflict 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits against the yellows, and it all goes to trophies. So I believe a warlord would be pretty good idea in the future, and they will also seize the initiative if the round ends like this. Those guys would like to do the administration, and they would like to do the tax. They have idea what they would like to do. Yeah, the blue ones. They probably would like to get the fuel in order to win the tycoon. So they tax here once. They get the fuel. And they can put to influence somewhere, and this no, they have only one action, yeah, because they pivot. So at the end of the round we see that the initiative moves to the blue ones. Yeah, those cards goes to the discard pile. Interestingly, we have 3 ambitions now: empath, tyrant and tycoon. The only one who has captives is the blue one. Yeah. And the blue one now plays the card. And by the way, have we played correctly with those guys? I just hope that we didn't finish it prematurely. Hopefully not. So they play aggression, not like them. But yeah, this is what we just draw, so we have to play this. Okay, we can try to do something. We have 1 move or 2 moves, and we can do some attacks with the blue ones. Actually, I want to move twice here. That's all they want to do. Those guys, they will copy it. They will copy the yellow ones, and the yellow ones will move here. And now we go to the reds, and the reds would like to do the build or repair. They would like to repair 1 of those ships. They have only 1 action. And the initiative is not changing here. Nobody played anything which would cause it to change. In the last round, I believe we should have 1 card less here on the yellow because they were seizing the initiative. I believe I might mix something up. Sorry for this. So the blue ones are playing the mobilization. No ambition can be declared anymore. So they have move or influence, and they wanted to influence a bit of the things. So they would like, ready for the next turn, go here. Maybe also capture this guy. Let's see what the reds will do. They have... Oh, and this is very interesting situation, you see. They have this card. They cannot play this card because this value is lower than this. So they need to copy and only have 1 action. Move or influence for the red ones. The red ones, would they want to move or influence? They can do the catapult move to strengthen this. Those guys, they will move 1 here adjacent, and they will stop here. So what the yellow does, the last thing they can build or repair, the yellow will build, they will build another city here. Nobody has any cards, so this would be the last round of the chapter. And now we'll go to the end of the chapter. Let me take the player aid and let's have a look at it. It will help us and it will guide us through that. So end of the chapter, we'll score ambition, we'll do the cleanup, we check whether game ends, and we draw the cards. First of all, we score ambitions. So the first ambition, tycoon. Who has the largest number of fuel and material resources. Here you can see 1, here you can see 1, 2, 3, here you can see 1, 2, 3. So those guys are tied for the first place, so they get the victory points for second place, which is 0. Sorry guys, you were too greedy. We go to Tyrant, who has the largest number of captives, not trophies, the blue ones. So the blue ones are getting 5 points, and those captives are released. And then we have Empath, who has the largest number of psionic resources. Here we have 2, 1 and 2. Nobody else has anything, so the 3 points goes to the yellow one. After first chapter, the red has 0, the yellow has 3, and the blue has 5. And we flip the smallest number, so it is here now. We will deal with the cards and we'll continue. As you can see, the trophies stand here. The initiative, I believe there was no change in initiative in the last round, so it will also stand here. And we'll continue with a new chapter. That was a super quick, example of play, which I showed to you, but I hope that it gives you understanding about the flow of a game. Imagine that you have different leaders which have different capabilities, skills and setup, and imagine that you have various additional lore things which enhance the actions. The game will get even more interesting. That's all for today about the ARCS. This teach and play material was really prepared to get you hooked with this great game. I really appreciate and like it. I hope that it gives you a good insight about the rules, about the gameplay, about the flow. This is a cutthroat game. All the time attacks, seizing, attacking, trophies, captives and so on, but that's exactly what's that about. I definitely will be playing more. I will be playing also with the leaders and lore. Maybe I will create the material about that, and once I get the campaign, we will also try to play through it. That's all for today. Thank you very much for being with me, and thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content like this, do not hesitate and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.